What's going on, everyone? So, I'm excited, as I'm sure many of you are, for the upcoming I Know What You Did Last Summer. We got a new sequel. It's going to take place. And one of the big questions is who and what is going to be the killer? Now, we don't know who the killer is, but we got some interesting information from one of the actors in Jonah Keene. He gave us a little, kind of just threw it out there. All right. So he was doing an interview, and during the interview, they were asking, of course, about I Know What You Did Last Summer, slated to come out later this year, and your excitement and all that stuff. And he's given the regular spiel, right? Just talking, oh yeah, it's really great. The cast was great. I'm really excited to see, Jennifer Love Hewitt and Freddie Prinze Jr. They reprised their roles. It was great. Like, they were awesome. Right? The typical spiel. And then they asked, about the Hookman. And they asked, and he's like, yeah, we're going to get a new Hookman, or Hookwoman, right? And, he kind of ha-ha-ha-ha-has. And then he goes, who knows? And he goes, well, I do, right? And then that's that. Now, you could look at that one of two ways. You could look at that as just like an in passing. He's just making a little light of it, trying to throw you off. Or he was actually, kind of giving you a little like hint, hint, wink, wink, right? A little nod that maybe the Hookman is a female. That it's actually going to be a woman this time, which the reason I said actually going to be a woman this time is because there were rumors, like, when this was officially announced, that they might do the daughter or like granddaughter, I think, of Ben Willis. There was like kind of murmurs going around from people that were like, hey, they might do it this route this way. So think that's very interesting. Does this mean that they're going to go, the family member route, right? It was Ben's son, right? Like, get it? Ben, son, Will Benson, right? Like, that was the whole thing, right? So it was his son. Well, now you go from the good old fashioned revenge of the son and the father-son team up to maybe it's the daughter, or it's the granddaughter or whatever, and she wants to enact her revenge. And what better way than to do it to, the upcoming, the new cast and Julie James and, Ray, their child, right? Like, that could be an interesting approach. That could be an interesting way to kind of go about this. I look, at the end of the day, I want the Hookman or Hookwoman to be menacing. I want it to, have some epic kills. Hopefully you don't get to see the hook man or woman's face every scene, right? Like, there's literal shots where you can see his face. Like, it's just because he's in a slicker with just like, a little hat over. He's not in like a mask. So, like they have like camera angles where like the camera's like up here. And so you can just see the guy's face. Right? Even in the trailer, you can see the guy's face, right? So hopefully they're a little more creative in their shots, so you can't like tell who it. You can't be like, oh, it is a woman, right? Because you're gonna know rather quickly, right? Like, it's not really gonna be a surprise, right? If it's a female, there's only like 5 females in this film. You know it's not Julie James, so it's like, okay, so that kind of narrows it down. So it's like one of like these 3, right? Where I think if you have it this mystery, you have it open ended, right? I don't even necessarily want to know if it's a guy, right? Like, just again, leave it as it's just like, don't try to, be more selective with your camera shots, be more creative with your camera shots. So that way, you can, just better not spoil because you literally can see the actor's face, but I digress, right? I'm all for the idea of there being a female killer. I'm even open to the idea of there being multiple killers, right? Could it be something where it's like a father-daughter or a boyfriend-girlfriend, or it's, whatever, right? Like, and I mean, because you got to think, in part 2, there was 2, right? So it's not like this would be breaking some ground, like, oh my God, like, I can't believe. No, like, it was Ben Willis and Will Benson, right? Like, that was the whole thing, right? It was a father-son team up there to go and try to take out Julie and Ray and all their friends, right? So I could see something where, maybe we get 2 killers again, and you get like a man and a woman who are teaming up to, for whatever reason. Like I said, maybe it's a mother-son thing, right? Maybe it's a daughter-father thing, right? Maybe it's a boyfriend-girlfriend thing. Maybe it's a brother-sister thing, keeping with the family theme from part 2, right? To where, you had the father and the son. Well, maybe you get father-daughter or mother-daughter, right? Like, I mean, there's a lot of ways that they could go about this, but I like that. Something that I talked about and like spoke in a video not too long ago, I guess it was a long ago now, was this I Know What You Did Last Summer has more mystery than any of them, right? Like, because like even the original I Know What You Did Last Summer, you knew the spiel, right? That was the whole thing, right? That was the whole point, right? Like, these 4 kids, they end up hitting somebody with their car and they come back for revenge, right? They leave them for dead and they come back for revenge, right? Like, that was literally the premise even in the trailer. So you kind of knew the spiel. You knew the shtick. You knew it was a guy who was a fisherman, right? You again saw his face literally in some of the trailers. So there wasn't this, yes, I'm sure to an extent, a lot of people, were surprised and stuff, but there was this sense of like, okay, this is, you knew what you were getting into, right? Where this time, you don't know, right? Like this time, it's like, it could be several different things. It could be several alternatives, right? Like, could they bring Ben Willis back, right? I don't think so, because he'd be like 80, right? Is he really running around at 80 years old, slamming people down and killing them? And yeah, even with the hook, right? Like, that'd be a little tough to believe, right? You're talking 30 years later, he was like in his 40s, right? So I don't imagine that, at 70, 80, he's just running around, chasing people through alleys, right? Like, I just don't see that. So there is this new sense of like, ooh, intrigue. This new sense of like, ooh, something might be coming. And to add that there might be, a female killer, whether he was just joking and just trying to, mess with folks, which very well could have been the possibility. But I also think that there's a possibility that, like, no, this is straightforward what it is, right? Like, that there will be a female killer, or that there may be a female killer type thing. I don't think you just throw that out there unless you're kind of like, because it was random. He didn't have to throw that out. He was just talking. They were just like, oh, are you excited for the killer or whatever? He's just like, yeah, I'm really excited for the Hookman, or Hookwoman, right? Like, it's just like, he didn't even have to. He could have just been like, yeah, the killer, or if he wanted to kind of be whatever, politically correct or whatever, right? Like, he could have easily just been like, oh yeah, the killer in this film is gonna be great. Like, it just kind of left it that way, but he like stopped course and then said that there's a female killer, right? Like, I don't know. Interesting. But anyway, as always, this is a discussion. Pass question on you. Let me know your thoughts and opinions down in the comments below. What do you think? How do you feel? What are your thoughts? Would you be down for a female hook woman, right? Or do you think, no, it's got to be the hook man? How do you feel? Whatever your thoughts are. Either way, I'd love to hear it. So let me know down in the comments below. That being said, if you haven't liked this video, hit that like button. It helps me a lot. So we enjoy these types of videos. Truly appreciate it. Not subscribe to the channel, hit that subscribe button. Turn on the bell notifications. Appreciate y'all. See you in the next one.